James Tyson Lee from Hero.
Yeah, this is Jason Mewes.
Hello, this is Abe Sapien.
Hey everybody, I'm Doug Jones, and you are listening to Steve and me and everybody else who gets on this show on the Virtual Chainsaw.
Okay, people, welcome back, and today we've got probably the biggest name that we've interviewed at this point. Today we're actually, well, sitting here, I suppose, talking to David Arquette. And how are you doing, David?
Yeah, I'm doing great. How are you?
Very tired. I haven't had a coffee yet this morning, but...
Oh, well, come on, put on a pot of coffee. You gotta have that.
Yeah, well, you know, I usually go through at least 2 or 3. I work my job that I do at the current time kind of calls for it, so
yeah.
We're ringing you today. We're talking to you about your movie The Tripper. It was one of the 8 films to die for last year. It was in that festival.
Yeah, we started, we're last minute a part of that, but then we ended up releasing it on our own in America at 50 theaters, and now it's on DVD.
Yeah?
But yeah, it was just released on DVD yesterday in America.
Ah, great. Now can you tell everybody the premise of the movie, the basic setup?
Yeah, it's about a group of drugged-out hippies that go to an outdoor music festival in Northern California in the Redwood Forest, and they get stalked and attacked by a killer who's obsessed with Ronald Reagan.
That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, he's got it's a wild story. He's got a killer dog named Nancy, and it's really kind of funny. It's like political satire, but wrapped up in a real scary horror film.
No, that's pretty cool. Actually, we spoke to Jason Mewes a while back, about 6 months ago, I think. And
he's the best.
Yeah, he was awesome to talk to. He had nothing but good things to say about you. He had nothing but good things to say about the movie.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I feel the same way. He's a really talented actor, and he was one of the last actors to get on board, and I hadn't met him before. I was really thrilled by his performance. It's different than a lot of stuff he does. I think it's closer to probably who he really is, and he delivers a great performance. He's funny, and he's also, is good in the moments where he's supposed to be scared.
Yeah, it's just that when I've talked to my friends in the past about Mewes, and when I've talked to them about you more recently, the thing that keeps coming up is, they must be like this. Mewes must be, Jay from the Kevin Smith movies. He must be like that, and I'm saying to them, nah, he's not like that. Doesn't come across like that. They said, oh well,
he's not. He's a lot more together and a lot more. He's really complex. He's a great guy, and I think he's going to surprise a lot of people if he gets cast in the right way.
You've been linked to a lot of really good movies like Scream.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you still get a lot of attention over the movie or not. Scream 2. I wasn't really a massive fan of Scream 3, I must admit, but the first two I really...
Me neither.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't really a fan of Scream 3 either. We were getting pages on the set, so it definitely showed that the story wasn't as solid as the first one, especially. People still recognize me, and it's great. I've been doing a lot of tours of like horror film conventions and meeting a lot of people, and they're really jazzed to sort of call me Dewey.
You'll be one of those people where you'll be typecast forever.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but then with getting back to the Tripper, because we're not really here about Scream, we're here more about the Tripper. But okay, I noticed that you actually wrote it and directed it. Okay, with someone else.
I sure did.
Who did you co-write?
Yeah, with Joe Harris. Joe Harris was my co-writer on it, and he was great. He helped me really structure it. I wrote a sort of rambly script at first, and he came in and really helped us streamline it and focus it and brought it to the next level.
Yeah, what was the process of taking it from? I mean, for a movie star, a very well-known man, to be able to write a script and bring it to the camera, was it a lot easier than you'd say somebody who's just a writer, if you know what I mean, as in somebody who's only a writer?
Yeah.
How did
Yeah,
speed
I
up?
mean, aspects of it were easier, but it still is a really difficult process. I mean, I got a great cast because of my relationships with Paul Rubens and Lucas Haas and Thomas Jane and Balthazar Getty, and Brad Hunt, and my brother Richmond. So I got a great cast, and then other
definitely.
great cast members jumped on board because of them. So that made it easier. It wasn't really that easy to raise the money. We financed a lot of it ourselves, and we produced it ourselves. So we kind of had to deal with all the phone calls to agents and lawyers and managers, and that becomes difficult.
Oh, that's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Oh God, lawyers. Sorry, I've got bad memories. But
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you're not half wrong when you say you've got a. I mean, not half wrong, not half right. I mean, when you say that you've got a great cast, I mean, you've got for yourself. Well, yourself, Sarah. I've always loved you as an actor. You know, I had an absolute
Thanks.
had an absolute blast with Eight-Legged Freaks. We went and saw that in the cinema. That was that was just a great popcorn movie.
Yeah, I thought so too. Thank you.
You got well, for instance, Courtney Cox. I always thought she was the best one in Friends. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it goes back to Scream as well. I think she's a very versatile actress because watching her in something like Scream, for instance, again, if I can just use that movie again, Gail Weathers was as far from Monica as you can possibly get, I think. And it was just, I thought she was great in it. And then we've got, like you said, Balthazar Getty, Lucas Haas. The one there that I noticed mostly is Thomas Jane, because he's actually one of my favourites at the moment, and I'm really looking forward to The Mist. And
Yeah, I sure am too. He's fantastic, and he's really great in the movie. He plays this character named Buzz Hall, who's like kind of like a John Wayne wannabe, like small town sheriff who, all these hippies sort of invade his town, and he's not very happy about it.
And he does the old thing of I want to get rid of them kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
He's got some great lines in it.
How long did it take to actually shoot?
We shot the film in 21 days, which is pretty quick. We just were gunning along, and it was low budget and just really a labor of love for a lot of people involved.
How was it actually directing yourself?
Well, that I wasn't used to at all, and I didn't pay a lot of attention to it. Once I got in the editing room, I wasn't that crazy about my performance, but it's difficult because you're sort of wrapped up in the whole film and watching the monitor and trying to watch performance closely, and then when you're there, you don't get to see the monitor. We didn't have playback or anything, so I couldn't watch it after we shot it. So it was difficult, but it was still a lot of fun, and if I were to do it again, I'd approach it differently.
There was an actress who once said it where she said she never watches her own movies.
Yeah.
Do you actually ever watch your own movies?
Yeah, I watch my own movies, but then you don't see them for a long time, and they'll come on cable or something, and you'll check out a couple scenes, and half the time you don't even remember filming those scenes. It's such a bizarre thing to see movies. It's like a photo album or something.
With The Tripper, were there any sort of like cliches that you were sure to include in the movie as homages or whatnot, or that you were sure to avoid?
Yeah, there's a few moments. Like there's one moment where the killer lifts up the knife and kind of wipes the blood off it. And that was something it was a little homage to Wes Craven and what he did in Scream.
Yeah.
And when I wrote the film, I really had horror fans in mind. I really wanted a film that had gore, a lot of violence, a lot of sex and nudity. I really wanted to make a film that I thought horror fans would appreciate.
Are you a big fan of horror yourself?
I do. I enjoy horror. I do. I like it a lot. And I'm not a big fan of the PG-13 ones. I feel kind of gypped, but I think there's a place for them, but I don't think they should be like horror films. I don't think, I don't think they're as fun when they're not, a little more graphic.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, it's like, I mean, when you had to submit your film to the MPAA, I mean, how did that go? Did you have any issues?
No, I was lucky because I wasn't trying to make a PG-13 movie, so when I got an R, I was just thrilled, and they didn't make me cut anything out. You know, with Fox Home Video behind the film, I think it has a shot to sort of for people to find it and hopefully become a sort of cult film. There's a lot of great extras as well on the DVD. You know, we did a lot of like behind the scenes. There's a lot of bloopers and deleted scenes and commentary.
Yeah.
With myself and Paul Rubens, my brother Richmond, and Thomas Jane all involved in it.
Did you have a sequel in mind when you wrote it, or was it a case of let's just make this a once-off?
No, I definitely have a sequel in mind, and the title of it is The Tripper 2: The Burning Bush.
Subtle.
Yeah, and it's a Burning Man setting. It's a different presidential killer, but it's not George Bush.
Ah, okay, fair enough. I suppose that'd be too easy a target, really, wouldn't it?
Yeah, he's sort of a horror movie himself.
Just getting in yourself, how did you particularly start out?
I started out. It just started out. You know, my sisters sort of broke down the walls for us, especially Rosanna, and my father was an actor as well, and my grandfather. So we always had grown up acting, but I got my first break on a film, actually a television show called The Outsiders, based on the movie and the book.
Yeah.
And after that I did another little series. Then I got my first film, which was called Where the Day Takes You. And it was about homeless kids in Hollywood, and then I just kept sort of at it. That's, you know, pretty much how I got involved.
Yeah, you've had a few films that, like my son loves the C Spot Run.
Yeah, it's a good movie for kids.
Mates and I had a great time watching Ready to Rumble. You know, I mean, obviously,
yeah,
it's a hell of a lot of fun.
Yeah, it sure was a lot of fun. It was fun to make too.
I mean, you've got your own company. You've got what's it called again? Is it Coquette?
Yeah, Coquette
Production. Have you ever thought about getting into the... Are you just solidly in the movie area? You ever thought about moving into the video game sort of like production side, or...?
Yeah, I definitely plan on doing video games. I love them, and I haven't had much time for them lately, just working so much. But I do. I enjoy video games, and I think they are definitely the future.
Okay, so... David, thanks a lot for talking to us. Okay, really do appreciate it. It's been an absolute blast. And we'll hopefully catch up with you another time.
Great, thank you. I've had pleasure talking to you.
And I wish you the best with The Tripper on DVD.